Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget and the budget they look, some they sleep, they're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu, and I am the People's Journalist. North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Officially launched on October 1st, 2020.
I forgive the most I praise. For the air I breathe, for the papers and trees. Me I forgive the most I praise. For the air I breathe, for the papers and trees. And that's why I sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Last night some boy try kill me half. Shoot up me car, only got make me drive off. And they thank God see me jump and pass. Girl look like Swiss cheese holes all over. What if I happen if I die that day? Show my music for stuff with it.
TOS TV operates as a globally accessible digital-first news outlet, reporting business, trade, and development news across the African continent. We pride ourselves as your trusted platform for well-researched, high-quality shows, documentaries, and essential programming. Join us in our journey in telling African stories that seeks to inform, educate, and entertain. After Hour. There is a pressing need to establish Africa as a significant and competitive industrial and trading partner in the global economy. After Hour is a one-hour business program that attempts to help Africans and the international community understand the mission and mandate of the African Continental Free Trade Area (AfTA) in accelerating intra-African trade and boosting Africa's trading position in the global market.
Over the years, the direction of Africa have been determined by the Western world. the colonial masters have developed our business plan, they have developed our economic plan. So all we have been doing over the years have been directed by the European and the Western, including the colonial masters. So this AfTA is a separation from what we have been doing before. Africa is now charting its course. This is the way we want to go. And it's quite amazing that for every nation, for every continent that wants to grow, they have to take away these trade restrictions and trade barriers. Now, in reality, if you look at other continents like the European Union, of course, they came up after the World War. For them to succeed and survive the post-World War economic crisis, they created the European Union, where they have a single market. That is why Europe is so strong today. You look at other countries and all of that, so they all have their economic strength. They used to say that one good head is okay, but two good heads is better than one good head. So the numbers, nobody can play with numbers.
I agree with you, because you are looking at an economic bloc with a value of over $3 trillion US dollars.
Exactly.
But unlike the European Union and Europe, where there are policies that encourage cross-border and inter-country trading, very little visa restrictions amongst member nations. You can probably move all the way from London all the way to Brussels without even, being intercepted at any of the border crossings, as long as you carry a Euro card. Now, in Africa, there are issues. Insecurity is a major one across Africa. Looking at Central Africa, looking at the Horn of Africa, the Sahel region of Africa, and even in West Africa, because Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon currently are suffering issues of separatists, insurgency, high levels of insecurity. Will this not, in the short term, affect the level of implementation of AfTA, especially now that it has taken off?
Well, I think if you give me enough time, I'll have to dissect this AfTA vision and mission statement.
Please go ahead.
Now, the first thing you have to know about insecurity all over the world, poverty breeds insecurity. If the youth are gainfully employed, there is no way they can have time to think about insecurity. If you travel to the Western world, you see that everybody is busy with one transaction on the other. You see entrepreneurs coming up with one idea. The environment is there for them to survive and succeed. Now in Africa, you see that it's quite difficult because there's a lot of enclosure, there's a lot of policy issues, there's a lot of religious issues and all of that. So with the open market, people will have a choice of where to trade and do business. Luckily for Africa, the trading started on the 1st of January 2021.
Yeah.
We have 55 nations in Africa. 54 have signed this treaty.
Except for Eritrea.
Except for Eritrea. And in this 54, 34 has ratified it into their domestic law. So you see that the steps are progressive. For instance, Nigeria is prepared in two ways. I would say Nigeria is prepared in one way, Nigeria is not prepared in the other way. In terms of obligations regarding the AfTA agreement, if you look at, in the recent time, Nigeria has amended their immigration policies. For instance, Nigeria has given all African nations free visa on arrival. Once you are from the 54-member country, as soon as you come into Nigeria, you don't even need to give them you don't need to pre-inform them that you are coming to Nigeria. As soon as you arrive in Nigeria, they will give you your visa. You have opportunity to stay in Nigeria for 30 days. These are the vision, these are the objective of AfTA. Free movement of goods, free movement of people from one country to the other, but it's progressive. Now, if you look at the AfTA agreement, the agreement has 30 articles and sub-articles herein.
Yeah.
And the agreement also created about 4 protocols. You have trade in goods protocol, you have trade in service protocol, you have the protocol on settlement of dispute, you have the protocol on competition, you have the protocol on intellectual property. Luckily for us, the trade in goods protocol has been drafted and adopted. It's part of the after agreement. The trade in service has also has come into existence. So I think the ones they are working on is the area of competition and the area of intellectual property. Now, you look at this agreement, you know, if you look at the articles, when you look at it word for word, you see that they have created room for growth.
Valiant voices. Sharing and highlighting Africa's young pace setters, makers and builders is pivotal developing Africa's youth. Valiant Voices is a profile magazine show that focuses on telling the story of individuals, communities, and countries, influencing change and inspiring growth in Africa through cultural and economic hallmarks in diverse scope.
The failure of the NSAS protest was not on the sides of the leadership of this country. Let us not forget so soon, President Buhari volunteered and agreed to meet the demands of the young people. He asked the young people to come forward and present their demands. What happened? The young people could not agree on those that will come out to represent them because of jealousy, because of greed, because if it's not me, it should not be someone else. And at the end of the day, what happened? We saw entertainers whose participation in the protest were just coming to entertain people, becoming leaders to come and represent them. We saw one of them went to office of the IG, claiming to represent young people. For somebody who does not even know what Nigerian young people needs, for somebody whose lifestyle has been that of thuggery, has been that of insult and fights, you are calling such a person to come and lead a transformational project that will benefit the young people of this country. Why? Because the young people are not still ready to know that it is time for them to participate in the leadership of their country. So for me, I believe that the problem we have is the unreadiness of the young people to take leadership of this country. And if you want to take leadership, you don't just criticize, you don't just talk. The first thing you do is to seek knowledge. Okay. And when you acquire knowledge, you participate in the system. With you equipping yourself with the necessary knowledge, and you commit to participate, the country will give you space. And that's why you see today people like us are making headway, because we are prepared. I am a professional journalist, but I did not stop at that. In an attempt to further equip myself, I went back to school to read law. And by the grace of God, I'm in my final years. I'm my final year. So very soon, I will be graduating. So what I'm trying to make you understand is, okay, I want to make an instance with this late Arotile, the female pilot who died not quite long. What did she do? She went and read and studied how to fly combatant helicopter. She graduated and got a job. She was not looking for a job. She got a job because she has developed herself with expertise. And you see, value does not beg. If you have something to offer, the nation will beg for you. Before you knew it, she became one of the fighters of the Air Force. And if not for that, that young lady would have become even the chief of air staff of this nation. Why? Because she sought knowledge and she has started participating in the system, and she has patriotically begin to contribute to nation building. My final words to the young persons is, they should seek knowledge. And when equipped with the necessary knowledge, they should participate in the process of governance. Those who are interested in politics should go into politics, contest for councillorship, House of Reps, House of Assemblies, governorship, and Senate. For those who want to go into business, go into any business, go to any industry that you like, participate in it. You know, participation brings currency, and currency brings popularity in your field, and that also breeds expertise in your field. So, for example, we have realized today, if you contest election 20 times in Nigeria and you fail, the 25th time or the 21st time, you may win because of your constant appearance. You know, even those who refuse to accept your vision today, after a while may say, no, let us try this person. It seems this person has something to offer. So failure should not deter you. So whichever way you participate in any project or program, don't allow yourself to be discouraged. Keep participating. And you see, there's one thing about an idea that is recurring. An idea that is recurring, whether you like it or not, it's just a matter of time for that idea to be realized. So I will encourage young people to seek knowledge and participate in the process. You know, whether political, whether business, whether manufacturing, whether entertainment, participate, dominate, you know, force yourself on it. And whether you like it or not, once you do that, you know, they say when you seek, you shall find. When you knock, it shall be opened unto you. So when you keep insisting, you keep participating, you will definitely succeed. And that is how you see most people have succeeded today. That is how they succeeded.
My Heritage is a docu-series that breaks the ice by taking viewers on a tour of the African continent. On this latest episode of the show host serves as our special tour guide to a southwestern African country, Namibia, which is distinguished by the Namib Desert along its Atlantic Ocean coast. The country is home to diverse wildlife, including a significant cheetah population.
There are quite a number of over-the-top fascinating things about Namibia, but here's a few. It is home to the Namib Desert, the world's oldest desert. According to scientists, the Namib Desert is over 55 million years old and is also quite large, stretching for 2,000 kilometers along the Atlantic coast of Namibia, South Africa, and Angola. In Namibia, there are around 700 species of birds. As a visitor, almost every day you spend in Namibia, you would most certainly see different kinds of species of birds. Many are so colorful with long, bright feathers. Oh, and the owls. I bet you have never seen so many different owls in one setting. Here's something interesting. Namibia was the first African country to incorporate protection of the environment into its constitution. The government of Namibia reinforced that by giving its rural communities the right to manage their wildlife through communal conservancies. These conservancies are clearly defined tracts of land registered with the government where local communities manage their natural resources through a democratically elected committee and approved management plans. Touring Namibia is truly a pleasure. Its capital city, Windhoek, and the lovely coastal town of Swakopmund uphold remnants of the country's German influence, reflected in the architecture, culture, cuisine, and the annual Oktoberfest celebrations. To properly appreciate this extraordinary country, you will have to venture out of the cities actually to explore the remarkable natural landscapes Namibia has to offer. Namibia is one of the most fascinating and diverse countries in the world. World famous for the Etosha National Park, one of the world's greatest conservation areas and the highest sand dunes in the world is at Sosselvay, rising up to 383 meters. Imagine climbing the dunes to watch the sunrise. That's actually a popular tourist activity in the country. Namibia is also home to spectacular and unusual wildlife, with many species having made physical adaptations in order to survive the arid desert conditions. The Haba meteorite in Namibia is the largest on the planet, as well as the naturally occurring mass of iron known to exist under Earth. This meteorite, first uncovered in 1920, is still in the exact location where it crashed into the Earth's surface over 80,000 years ago. Thrilling, isn't it? The main sectors of the country's economy are mining, fishing, tourism, and agriculture. The biggest employer in Namibia is the agricultural and the mining sector, which includes diamonds, uranium, copper, lead, zinc, and marble. But the fastest growing economy, or the sector, is the tourism industry. About 30 languages, including Afrikaans and German, are spoken in the country. The most popular language, however, is Oshiwambo. But English is Namibia's official language. There is no talking about Namibia without showing off its eye-catching tourist attraction sites, like the Etosha National Park, centered on the vast Etosha salt pan. The pan itself is usually dry and only fills with water briefly in the summer, but is enough to stimulate the growth of blue-green algae, which lures thousands of flamingos. Most of the wildlife, including herds of zebra, wildebeest, and antelopes, can be seen around the waterholes that border the pan. Etosha is served by 3 well-established rest camps and offers a great self-drive safari experience, a perfect destination for experiencing wildlife at its rawest. Then there is the Gibeon meteorite shower, the world's most extensive meteorite shower. The Gibeon meteorite shower occurred in prehistoric times in central Namibia, covering an elliptical area of 275 by 100 kilometers. Remains from this meteorite shower are exhibited at Windhoek, Namibia's capital city. Namibia also has one of the largest concentrations of rock art in Africa. There are numerous important rock art sites scattered across Namibia, the best known being the Brandberg Massif in Damaraland that showcases San hunter-gatherer rock art that is over 2,000 years old. Also in Damaraland is Fontaine, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most important rock engraving sites in southern Africa. Located in northwestern Namibia, Fontaine contains one of the largest concentrations of rock engravings in Africa. Most of the carvings were created over 6,000 years ago by ancient Bushmen known as Sans. The carvings were made by cutting through the hard surface layer of sandstone, representing animals such as the rhinoceroses, elephants, ostriches, and giraffes, as well as depictions of human and animal footprints. The Skeleton Coast in Namibia, now desolate, is known as the world's biggest graveyard for ships and sailors. A large number of sailors have died at this coast from shipwrecks caused by the dense fog, mighty storms, and the violent surfs in the area. In the 1940s, a slate was discovered along with human skeletons. The slate was written by a survivor and directed anyone who found it north. Unfortunately, the wreck had happened close to a century earlier, so the slate wasn't much help. Those who were shipwrecked and managed to swim through the heavy surf and reach the coast still had to face the waterless, hostile coastal desert. The coast north of Thuris Bay, which is dominated by high sand dunes, is the most attractive stretch of the Skeleton Coast. The Namib Desert claims the title of the oldest in the world and dishes up panoramic landscapes that are second to none. It is an immense expanse of relentlessly moving gravel plains and dunes that stretch along the entire Namibian coastlines and holds evidence of human existence dating back to the Stone Age. On the edge of the Namib Dune Desert and hidden within a remote valley lies De Wissib Castle, built in 1909 by a German baron.
We have a top-notch programming all lined out for our viewer pleasure this year. Subscribe and follow us on all digital channels on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.